After 90 minutes of football, it went beyond playing just a football match on the pitch, and the integrity of the Ghana Football Association was questioned by SAFA. But what is the relationship between Ghana and South Africa like? We're hearing from the Secretary General of the Ghana Football Association, Prosper Harrison Addo, who has been speaking to us. And also, why is it that some 54 members are asking the Ghana Football Association to call for an extraordinary Congress to review parts of the statutes of the Ghana Football Association? We'll be hearing from a member, that is Wilfred Kweku Osei, who signed the petition. And also, tonight is the return of UEFA Champions League football. We'll share with you the fixtures of the various matches that will be happening later today. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullah. Welcome to AM Sports. Despite the frustrated relationship between Ghana and South Africa in the media, Secretary General of the Ghana Football Association, Prosper Harrison Addo, has insisted that the two countries do not have any issues. According to him, SAFA only exercised their right to go to FIFA and demand a replay of the last group stage World Cup qualifier against the Black Stars, and the GFA have got no reservations about that.
And it's just one or two people who have just gone beyond the normal football banter, and so I should say that we still have that relationship. We were in Cairo, and we will always be friends with all associations, including the SAFA. And don't forget, we play a very good role after apartheid in playing friendly matches with the SAFA, and then we would always be friends, and we have special relationship with South Africans, from the government side to the sporting side, and I expect it to remain the same. Like I said, we know going out of the AFCON and the World Cup is painful, and we know one or two banter, then fine. But it's just when it went beyond the football space, and then the economy and other things were brought in, that is why we responded. Otherwise, we were fine. And I think that now that the decision has come, I'm friends with the South African FACU. Kurt is also cool with Danny Jordan. It's just that once you transcend into beyond the football arena, then we just needed to tell him that, please.
And the interesting thing is that there is a lot of, there's very good cordial relationships between Ghana and South Africa on the diplomatic front.
It will remain the same.
Let's talk club football now. And Accra Hearts of Oak have had a turbulent season so far. Their participation in the CAF Champions League came to a knot, and recently, when they dropped to the CAF Confederation Cup, the team also exited after losing 4-2 on aggregate to Algeria side JS Saoura. The team has not won a single match in the Ghana Premier League since it commenced in November. Well, many have said that the club does not have a good history when participating in Africa and also playing the Ghana Premier League. A member of the management of the team is Elvis Hesse Heyman, and he has said that he's not surprised about the performance of the team so far.
For quite some time, from childhood especially. This is no surprise to me. Some years back, and let me say that sometimes when we are playing in the African competition, we tend to have difficulties in the local game. So it is, for me, it is no surprise to me, that we are not performing too well on the local scene. But very soon, everything will get back to order, and I'm sure that we will start playing our normal game because these current players that we've got currently, they are not too experienced like what we used to have in the past. So playing in the African continent and playing on the local scene, it looks more as if they are overburdened or there is some sort of fatigue.
Very well.
But very soon they will begin to get used to it. They will adjust to it and will start winning matches very soon.
Now let's talk about 54 members of the Ghana Football Association that put together a resolution demanding for the Ghana Football Association to call for an extraordinary Congress to review parts of the statutes of the football governing body put together by the now defunct Normalization Committee that was headed by Dr. Kofi Amwa. Well, one of the members is Wilfred Kweku Osei, owner and bankroller of Tama Youth FC. He has been speaking to Joy Sports, and according to him, the FA is equating clubs to delegates, which is wrong in his opinion.
The entire Article 81 and comprehensively deal with it. You realize that Article 81 talks about transitional provision. Transitional provision was relevant at the time that we were transiting from normalization to the current dispensation. 2 years down the line, are you telling me that transitional provision is still relevant to the extent that an FA executive committee that took over would like to implement what has been enshrined in the transitional provision? How would they be incumbent upon them? They are not under any obligation to apply what should have happened 2 years ago. They are not under any obligation.
But it says within 2 years into office.
No one can have that as a transitional provision. You cannot burden any future administration with a provision that you, who did the statutes, you will not be there to implement it. Why would you do something for me to implement it and you label it as part of transitional? If it was not part of the transitional provision, that would have been okay. So check through the transitional provision. You will realize that all the letters labeled there, they've been implemented, except that this 81.6. That has not been implemented. Which means that those that were mentioned as transitional provisions were truly transitional provisions. What has not been implemented couldn't have been transitional. I talk to any legal person, they will tell.
But Palmer, if the FA Congress accepted this document on September 25, 2019, it is binding on the FA to implement it.
The same Congress can undo what was accepted.
But the Congress have not assembled to undo it.
Because of tactical disposition of the current Executive Council.
So since it hasn't been changed, they still have to implement it.
And in implementing it, you don't have to put a spin on what you intend implementing. I'll call it a spin. Spin in the sense that, check the 81.6 that they are referring to. They say in 2 years' time, our delegates at the Division 1 level will be reduced from 48 to 18. Nabila, delegates are not clubs. Delegates, you cannot equate delegates to clubs.
Let's talk about Asante Kotoko, who suffered their first defeat of the season at the hands of King Faisal after Zuberi Ibrahim scored a hat-trick on match day 5 in the Ghana Premier League. Well, the Porcupines have decided to report match day referee and 3 others to the Ghana Football Association for what they say was poor officiating. My colleague Benaya Elam de Fiamakwa has the rest of the story.
Asante Kotoko have lodged an official complaint to the Ghana Football Association concerning the state of refereeing in their match day 6 game against King Faisal at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. The Porcupine Warriors lost their first game of the season in a 3-2 defeat to the Inshallah boys. Match referee Julian Nunoo was at the center of controversy as he rescinded his decision to award Kotoko a penalty in the first half. With a few minutes left to play in the first half, Nunoo pointed to the spot awarding a penalty to Kotoko after spotting a handball by King Faisal in the box. However, upon several consultations with the other match officials, Nunoo rescinded his decision to the surprise of Asante Kotoko. Head coach of Kotoko, Prosper Nati Ogum, also believes the referee shouldn't have changed the decision because it was a penalty.
From where I stood, it was a penalty. I mean, the referee took a penalty. What did you see? Yeah, I saw a penalty. The ball hit the hand. So I don't know what decision else he took. He can only explain. I don't know. He's the only person who can explain. But the ball hit the hand. It was a foul in the penalty area. And per the loss of the game, when the ball hits the hand in the penalty area, it's a penalty. He took it only for the assistant 2 who is far away and the 4th referee to tell him that it wasn't a penalty. The assistant 1. The assistant 2 moved to the line to award a penalty. But
Kotoko also believe they should have been awarded another penalty after Isaac Opon was tripped in the box. Ongban Fege was also wrongfully adjudged as offside in the first half. The match review panel of the Ghana Football Association is expected to come up with a recommendation in the coming days.
What a season Steph Curry is having, what a season the Golden State Warriors are having. We wait to see what will happen at the end of the NBA season. It is in its 75th season and the Golden State Warriors are damn hungry to win it. On this note, we say thanks very much for joining us for AM Sports. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi.